This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube, and I just watched a very interesting statement from Lou Elizondo about the drone situation going on right now, not just in the US, but all over. Anyone that does not know who Lou Elizondo is, he's the author of the book Imminent, which is a disclosure related book. He is the former director of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, ATIP, from the Pentagon. And he's the one that's associated with the release of the Pentagon UFO videos. He had some very interesting comments, so let's just jump right into the what we call in Canada Coles Notes version, even though I am in the US right now. He said this is not only a US problem. The people and government in the UK, where he just was, are worried about drones over sensitive locations there as well. These type of incidents have been going back at least 5 years at various places in the US. US and Russia are not on good terms right now, and both have nuclear equities. These are being seen in New Jersey, these drones around and above the president's golf course there. They're also being seen around Langley Air Force Base. And these type of incursions have also happened in Colorado, Nebraska a few years back. They've been seen around the Philadelphia area as well. Some of these drones are over controlled U.S. airspace. They are also over civilian areas. These type of drones would be enormously expensive, and regular drones only usually have about 20 to 30 minutes of power, according to Elizondo. But some of these New Jersey drones have been seen up for hours at a time. He thinks these might be state-sponsored. This might be a situation where a big foreign adversary is either pulling this off, or somewhere in the U.S., some department in the U.S. is doing this anonymously. Apparently, with the size of these drones, human beings could actually fit into some of these. No points of origin of these drones have been confirmed, even though the U.S. has access to very capable radar. They are flying without being detected and appear to be communicating or coordinating with each other. If it's a foreign adversary, such as some people have alluded to, they might be China or Iran's. If they're coming in by boat to a location and then coming off of a boat, they have capabilities beyond us. If these aren't being operated by the U.S. Department of Defense in some type of black military program, perhaps looking for a nuke that's been planted or something else that's been planted, is what Elizondo alluded to without saying he had firsthand knowledge about this. He says these could be being operated by the Department of Energy or the Department of Homeland Security. He says there could be weapons of mass destruction in the U.S., and these drones could be our own to find them and try and deactivate them. This would explain why they are not telling other departments or the media, because they don't want to cause mass panic. And this could be a very serious threat, so there could be a reason they are keeping it super classified. He also goes on to say there's unidentified aerial phenomenon is another option, that it could be unidentified aerial phenomenon over sensitive locations, and drones are being launched to observe this unidentified aerial phenomenon. Drones might be better than in the past. We saw these flying black helicopters in the areas where the UAPs would be seen. The black helicopters are manned by humans and much bigger, and the humans have to wake up and get in them, etc., where the drones could be operating on some sort of AI program to respond to these type of UAP incursions. It could also be the U.S. conducting a reconnaissance on UAP, as I was just saying. It might be a combination of many reasons, but the U.S. does possess counter-drone capabilities that could, in theory, take these down. He says another option is it could be a show of force by another country to intimidate us. He says it's imperative to find out what is behind this, and whoever knows what it is not sharing the info on what it is. As far as an update on the congressional hearing that he just testified in, along with several other witnesses. One was Mike Gold, who used to work for NASA, and the other was Commander Gallaudet, who was from the he was a rear admiral from the U.S. military, and he was commenting on underwater submerged objects. He said he's addressing further questions from Congress that will eventually be part of the congressional record. He would be willing to testify again if they ask him. He says there's other witnesses that say they would have testified and then didn't. So he believes subpoenas should be implemented for these type of people. That is the end of my Lou Elizondo update. I'll tell you what else I've seen in the news today related to the drones. And trust me, I've watched about 4 or 5 hours of various government officials and drone experts talking about this. Most of these drones have green, red, or gold lights, the ones that have drones. Nobody knows what info they are collecting. The government is downplaying it. If they don't have FAA ID signals, these are illegal drones being flown. Homeland Security is claiming they don't know where they came from. We know for a fact that China has been selling Iran drones. This might be a secret program, just as Lou was saying, that only about 6 to 12 people are read into due to something like a potential weapon of mass destruction being implanted somewhere in the U.S. that they are trying to locate. Law enforcement don't have any clue what it is. That's what they're saying. Trump isn't taking over until next month. They could be trying to do something before Trump takes over, as the current administration is kind of winding down and it's right before Christmas. Be a good time to try and do something. The government is saying there's no malicious activity or intent, but there does seem to be a gap in authority. Some government officials are saying this is all mass hysteria. And this is despite one police helicopter actually flying over a drone and then getting too scared to follow it further and turning around. Obviously, some of these are airplanes that are being seen. Some of these are civilian drones going up to see whatever's going on in the sky.